Over the last 4 years, I have scaled my OnlyFans agency from zero to over $1 million a month. And in this video today, I am going to brain dump everything I know. What that means is I am going to go through a list of different topics that are involved in OnlyFans management, and I am just going to spit as much knowledge as I can off the top of the dome. This is going to be a long video, but if you're ready to just download my brain into yours so you can apply these insights to your agency, then this will be the best video that you stumble across today. So put your phone on Do Not Disturb, lock in, get ready to take notes, because I'm about to just yap for the next hour and just brain dump my brain into yours so you can move faster, right? If you've got an agency that's making zero, 10K a month, 100K a month, 500K a month, there will be insights for you that you can just take, implement, apply, and make more money. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Let's just get straight into it. So the first thing I wanna talk about, which is super important, is offer creation, right? To stand out as an OnlyFans agency, you need a good offer, because most of you watching this video right now are commoditized. You are the Toyota of the industry. No one gives a fuck about you. There's tons of you, and you're cheap, nasty, and you're not valuable, right? Whereas if you look at something like my agency, we're the Porsche of the market, right? And I don't say that egotistical, it's just because our offer is the thing that makes us that, right? We're not commoditized. If you compare Toyota to a Porsche, Porsches are hard to get their hands on. You know, not everyone can get them. They're very expensive. They have this aura around them, if you will. And that's because they're not a commodity, whereas a Toyota is. And so to create an offer, we must first understand why people convert and buy in the first place. And so we need to craft and forge an offer based on an understanding of psychology. And so the offer comes second and the market actually comes first. And so what that means is if you understand the market and what they want to hear, you can craft an offer that meets their needs and ensures success. And so I would argue that this is one of the most, if not the most important things that I am going to discuss in this video today, because it aligns with the Pareto principle, right? Which is the 80-20 rule. If you get the offer right, 80% of the work is done. And so I implore you to pay attention to what I'm about to say. Don't 2x this video, don't speed it up. Pay close attention to it, because I'm just about to drop as many knowledge bombs as possible on each segment of OnlyFans management. Now, to craft an offer, again, we must understand the person we're crafting it for. We do not craft an offer for our service. We craft an offer for a person. And so if we understand that person, what makes them tick, and why they act the way that they do, then we can put things in place to make them take action. And so that being said, the first thing I want to talk about before we get into the nitty-gritty of what makes a good offer is I want to give you the fundamental psychology behind offer creation. And that starts with what I call the 6 foundations. And those 6 foundations, all client acquisition really is, at its core fundamental level, is converting a human from stranger to client. And that requires these 6 things. And those 6 things are drive, right? So every single OnlyFans creator, every single human being, every single customer has a drive, right? And so to convert a stranger to a client, we need them to have drive, which everyone has. Then the next thing is goals, right? So the goal actually comes from the drive. Then a problem, which comes from the goal, and then a pain, which comes from the problem, and then an action, which is coming from the pain, okay? So if we look at this visual right here, you are going to see that, let's just imagine this as an OnlyFans creator. Okay, so this is your OnlyFans creator that you want to sign to your agency. Or you could just look at this as every OnlyFans creator in the market in general. She has these unconscious drives, right? Maybe she wants to prove her dad wrong. Maybe she wants to prove an ex-boyfriend wrong. Maybe she just wants to make tons of money for whatever reason. But they have all these unconscious drives. There's tons of different ones. There's tons of different reasons. It could be, she could be, you know, moving away from pain, love, wherever. So she has all these drives, and like I said, these drives create goals. So again, we've got our OnlyFans client who has all these drives, and those drives create a goal or multiple goals. However, those goals create problems. So it's not just easy, right? You can't just say, oh yeah, I want to hit this goal of making 30 grand a month as an OnlyFans creator, and I'm just going to hit it like that. If you decide you have a goal, then there's going to be a fuck ton of problems in the way stopping you from getting that goal and making it easy. And so what that does is it creates this massive ball of chaos, this massive ball of problems. And so the problem then creates pain, because now you're sat in this ball of fire, you're in pain, you're, as an OnlyFans creator, you're sat there, you're like, fuck, I really want to make 50 grand a month as an OnlyFans creator, or I really want to get my social media going viral as an OnlyFans creator, or wherever their goals are. I really want to retire my mum, wherever. So all these problems, which creates pain. And then because of this pain, they sat in this ball of fire, they need to take action, okay? But the only thing is, most people do not take action without you encouraging them or without someone encouraging them. And that's where your offer comes in. And your offer is meant to inspire confidence in them. So you need to amplify their pain to elicit action, but you also need to inspire confidence. And so as you can see here in this diagram, you should be stood on the shiny pillar of confidence, pretty much saying, like, this is your offer, right? And you should pretty much be saying, like, look, I can solve all these problems for you, and I can get you from where you're at to where you want to go, because I've done it X, Y, Z times. And so all an offer really is just showing them that you can get them from their current situation and you can bridge the gap to their desired situation, showing them the methodology to get there, the steps, and then the proof that you can actually do it, right? And that's all a good offer really is showing your ideal client, being an OnlyFans creator, how you can get them from their current situation to their desired situation by amplifying pain and inspiring confidence, right? Now, here's some ground rules, right? The rule is you do not create pain because pain already exists. You just expose and amplify the pain that already exists. And then rule number 2 is you do not create the action. You encourage and elicit it, channeling those emotions to act, right? And so when I'm talking about this is going to be, on the sales call, in your offer, in your ad creatives, in your content, wherever it is that you're doing to get clients, those are the things that you need to worry about, right? And so the OnlyFans creators in your market are thinking, like, where am I going to get confidence from to buy your thing? Like, where am I going to get confidence from to actually join your agency? Like, why would I not just join another agency? Like, where am I going to get your confidence from? And there's 3 things that you can do to inspire confidence. Offer is the biggest one. That's going to give you the biggest asymmetric advantage. You could literally just dial the offer in, and by having a really good offer, you don't even need to worry about the other 2 things. That's how good the offer is. So the offer is what's going to inspire confidence. But the second thing is going to be you, right? You as a person, you being a good leader, you being a good salesperson, you understanding your market's problems and how to solve them, and your conviction in your product and service, that's also going to inspire confidence. And so if you have a dialed offer and unwavering conviction, you're going to be good and you're going to be signing clients left, right, and center. But then the third thing is actually your clients, okay? Now, again, you don't need all 3. You don't need like testimonials and stuff, but if you do have all 3, that's the holy grail, right? If you've already solved the problem for a creator, like if you can show a creator, if you're going after a market segment that, let's just say the market segment is, you're going after the market segment of OnlyFans creators that are at 2 grand a month and you want to take them to 20, 30 grand a month, and you've already done that like multiple times and you've got proof that you can show that, then you're in a win-win situation, right? And so then the creator is like, knows where she's going to get her confidence from. It's going to come from your offer, it's going to come from you, and it's going to come from your clients who you've already done it for. And so because that way it's like, look, like I got proof that I can do this as well. And so if you have all 3, it's the holy grail. But if you just get the offer right, that can be enough. And if you get a good offer and conviction, that can be enough, and so on and so forth. But you have to have the offer dialed is the biggest one, right? And so it doesn't matter where your market gets confidence from to convert. What matters is that they get it. And so you can have no clients, but with unwavering conviction and a great offer, you'll win, right? And so that's really, really key. Now, the next thing, like I said, so that's how you like inspire confidence, right? Offer, your unwavering conviction, and your clients. But remember, just inspiring confidence isn't enough to get an OnlyFans creator to jump on a call with you and close. You also need to amplify pain. And so obviously every single creator, if they, speaking to you, every single creator has some like type of pain because they all have goals, they all have unconscious drives. And so there are really only 5 places where a stranger can go to get enough pain to become a client, right? And 3 of them are conscious, and 2 of them are conscious and 3 of them are unconscious. Now, the unconscious ones are kind of difficult because their ego is going to get in the way, right? So the easiest place to extract pain from is the person's problem and current consequences, because it's the most discrete place to get it. So the better you understand your market's problem and this particular prospect's problem and the consequences of that problem going unsolved, the more pain that you can build, right? And so those are the conscious drives, problems and consequences, okay? But then you have these unconscious pains as well, which is like the unmet drives and needs, or having what isn't wanted, or wanting what isn't had. That's difficult to tap into to expose pain, because ego can come in the way, right? So that's really key. Those are like the 5 ways to tap into pain, right? You've got the conscious, which is problems, another conscious one, which is the consequences, and then you've got the unconscious ones, which is unmet needs, having what isn't wanted, and wanting what isn't had, right? So those are the main psychological principles to tap into to get someone to convert. So that being said, right, there's like the main way, like if I was to indirectly amplify pain, and before I say that, you must be discreet, right? So you cannot blatantly try and create pain in someone by telling them they're in pain, right? It has to be indirect. And so this is where sales skills and stuff come into it. But there's 4 ways to indirectly amplify pain, right? It's asking questions that by the nature of them answering creates pain. So an example of that would be like, so you're currently generating, like no new subscribers to your OnlyFans. Why is that? By them answering that question, that's going to create pain. Then secondly, you can explore problems that by the nature of you exploring them creates pain. So that would be like, okay, so you told me that you can't get new subscribers. Can you expand on that problem for me? That is going to indirectly amplify pain. Third is going to be discussing the consequences that they're experiencing because of their situation. So what that would look like is, okay, Melissa, well, what's the knock-on effect of this problem in your life? Like, what's the knock-on effect of you not solving this problem of getting more subscribers to your OnlyFans? That is going to, again, just keep digging and amplifying pain. And then the last thing is creating seriousness and explaining the weight of their situation and consequences. And so that would be like in a sales call or in setting process or wherever, offer, ads, VSLs, would be like, look, if you don't fix this and it gets worse, what would that actually mean for your OnlyFans? That's an example, right? And so they're examples that you can use like during sales, but also like appointment booking as well. And so it doesn't matter where your prospect gets pain to convert from. What matters is that they get it. And it might sound unethical to just purposely amplify someone's suffering, but I see it the same way that a doctor sees it, right? If I need to make someone temporarily suffer to stop the suffering forever, I will. Because if my product and service can solve their problem 100% of the time, well, I'd be stupid not to amplify pain and inspire confidence to get them to take action, because otherwise I'm doing them a disservice. They're not going to take action on my thing otherwise, right? So that's why you've got to be better. You've got to be good as a service, as a business owner, because like if you've got a product that can generally help people, then you need to understand what I'm talking about right now, right? And so it's only unethical if your product and service cannot actually help them. Like if you manipulate someone and you amplify pain and inspire confidence and you say you're going to do all these things and you amplify their pain and then they join your service and you can't do fuck all because you have no idea what you're doing, well, obviously that's unethical, right? But like if you can do this and change a creator's life, then you're golden, right? So that is like the underpinning psychology behind client acquisition, I guess. That's a quick little thing about client acquisition. So now I've given you like a brief rundown on sort of the psychology behind client acquisition. Now we can look at the actual offer, right? And so in client acquisition, an offer is the way a product or service is positioned, right? And so offers have strength and strength works on scale. And so offers are not binarily simply weak or strong. It's just a question of how weak or strong. And so the question is answered by your market comparing your offer to your competitors. And so when you create an offer, you are effectively positioning your product and service, and the way you position your product influences your market's perception of that product and service, which influences their confidence in it. And so your offer should react with the drives of the market, the goals of the market, the problems of the market, and the pains of the market, right? Which is what we call the latent conditions. And so you need to understand and study and know, like, at least 30 to 100 OnlyFans creators' problems. Like if you can really get in forums, watch YouTube videos of creators and see the pains and really take time to understand the pains, problems, desires, drives of 30 to 100 OnlyFans creators, like different ones. If you can get that leverage, you'll be able to create the most amazing offer ever. So that is so key. And so that could either be you joining forums, joining groups, wherever you need to do to speak with OnlyFans creators and just generally figure out what their pains and problems are so you can end up creating a good offer. Because again, if you truly understand 30 to 100 people in your market, you can go and craft amazing offers, and you can go and you'll build amazing client acquisition systems, right? So that's what I'd recommend. Or you could do it the other way, and they can be from the sales calls, right? So after you've taken 30 sales calls, 100 sales calls, you'll start to know the pains and problems of the market. But the easiest way to do it is going to be, rather than wait into the point to where you get 30 or 100 sales calls, just go and speak to creators, right? Just go and join groups, go and look at forums, go and look at comments on YouTube videos. Really study the market, okay? So, for example, right, if we look at when I talk about like weaker or stronger, if you was to just say like, I sell OnlyFans consultancy services to creators, that's really weak, right? Stronger would be like, I sell a proven initiative designed to build a predictable and profitable subscriber acquisition system within your OnlyFans account. Now, those examples are only weak or strong when contrasted to each other, right? And so offers are not really good or bad only when compared to other offers made by competitors, right? And that's not an offer where I just said, that's just more like a short form message based on potentially like an offer, right? So 90% of people in the online space do not understand offer creation, and you can literally gain a massive asymmetric advantage in your agency if you understand this, right? And so a couple key points is offers succeed when they inspire certainty and position services as a vehicle, as vehicles or pathways to escape current situations and achieve desired ones. And then offers succeed when they are unique and force the market to perceive a service or a business in a different way, in a different, better way to the competition. And so niches and markets do not saturate, right? Niches and markets do not saturate, offers do. Right? And so that's the key when everyone's like, is this industry saturated? Is dropshipping saturated? Is OnlyFans saturated? No, right? Saturation is a good thing. Saturation means the market's growing. And why the fuck would you want to try and build a business in a market that isn't growing? That's stupid. If you read $100 million offers by Alex Hormozi, he talks about this principle. He talks about this whole saturation thing that marketers use to, either get you from one business model to another and sell you shiny objects, but it's not really real, right? Saturation just means the market's growing, which is a market that you want to jump into, because building a business is fucking hard. And so you do not want to build a business that's in a market that's not growing, right? And so markets and niches do not saturate, okay? Offers do. Offers are what saturate. That's why your thing isn't working. That's why your dropshipping store isn't working. That's why your OnlyFans agency isn't working, because your offers saturated, because you're doing the same as everyone else. And if you look and act and copy the same as everyone else, well, guess what? You're going to get the same results, and most people are not getting any results, right? Because the 1% succeed for a reason. And so a product is not an offer. A service is not an offer. A guarantee is not an offer. A discount is not an offer. A price is not an offer, okay? And so an offer is made up of the outcome, the time frame, the methodology, the secrets, the safety net, the polarity, and the pricing, okay? And so the promise, right? So the outcome, the promise should align with a goal and a desired situation of your market. Then you've got the time frame, which is how long it takes to deploy methodology to achieve the outcome and result. Then you've got the method, which is tangible, clear methodology as to how the outcome is achieved. Then you've got the secrets, which is your unique mechanism and way of executing the methodology and making it work. Then you've got the safety net, which is the risk reversal, the guarantee, a way to protect and feel safe and confident that you're not going to fuck the creator over, and that by working with your agency, they're definitely not going to end up in a worse off position, but they might even if everything goes completely tits up, they'll still actually be further ahead than what they was before, right? That's what like a safety net is. That's all an OnlyFans creator wants to know, is by working with your agency, is she going to end up worse off? If she is, she's not going to join. But if there's no risk and you have a safety net to where even if everything goes wrong and the offer doesn't work, she'll still end up a little bit more forward and ahead of where she was. Okay, she'll still end up a bit closer to her goal. And so that's how the best offers are made. And then polarizing, right? Your offer needs to be polarizing. So excluding people it isn't for to bring people it is for even closer. And so you have to polarize in your offer, because if you just make a super broad offer for the entire market, then it's probably not going to work. And the last thing is pricing, right? How much it costs to actually claim the offer and make it happen. And that's all you really need to know when it comes to building and creating an offer. That is the simplest way that I can give you how to create an offer, right? The last thing I want to leave you with when it comes to offer creation is I want to tell you two really uncomfortable truths. The harder it is for you to build a product, the easier it is for you to acquire clients. And the easier it is for you to build a product or service, the harder it is for you to acquire clients. And so if you want to make client acquisition easy, you have to make product/service development hard. That's the trade-off. And if you want to ask why is that the trade-off, it's because great offers are built on great products, and great products are very fucking hard to build. And so the more time, blood, sweat, and tears that you put into your product and service, that you put into your OnlyFans management agency, the more confidence you will inspire and the better products you can build. The harder the product equals the better offer, which equals more confidence. And so harder product equals more conviction in it, since you actually built it, and that equals more confidence. And then also it doubles down with your clients, right? Your clients, the harder the product is, the more the clients love it, the better results they get, and the more confidence they have, okay? And so that is the way to think about offers. That is how to look at how to build an offer in a super simple way. If you want more advice on building amazing offers, then I would 100% recommend $100 million Offers by one of my mentors, Alex Amosi. It is a really good book. He talks about, pricing philosophy, value discrepancy, all these things that I don't want to take too much time, because this video is not about offers. This is a brain dump on a multitude of different things, and we got to get into some other topics. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is cold outreach. And the reason I want to talk about cold outreach is because everyone kind of hates on cold outreach, or many people don't get results on cold outreach. But I mean, we are literally booking like over 250 appointments a month just from cold outreach, like with our agency. And it's because we've built an amazing system, and we've got so much data, and we've got a big setting team, and we've been doing it for obviously like 4 years, right? But not only that, we've got really good pages that we're outreaching from, and that's a big key, right? That's a big lever. If you can have a really good page to outreach on, you're going to get better results, and therefore you're going to get, results faster, and so on and so forth. Now, when you look at outreach, right, it's not hard when you know the market, their pain and their desires, like we just kind of talked about with offers. So if you have a really good offer, you understand the market, the pain, the desires, you understand at least 30 to 100 people, prospects in your market at a deep level, then it's going to be easy for you, right? And so if you don't know anything about your ideal client, like you don't know anything about OnlyFans creators that you're going after, the specific market segment of creators that you want to tap into, then you're not going to be able to leverage the things I'm about to talk about when it comes to converting cold prospects, cold OnlyFans creators who have no idea who you are, into an actual meeting, right? And so in order to make what I'm going to talk about work, you're going to need to know the inefficiencies that your market segment is dealing with. You're going to need to know how to create context and familiarity. You're going to need to know how to bring out inefficiencies in a conversation. You're also going to need to know how to educate, to create curiosity, and also create that authority and trust, aka confidence. And you're going to need to know how to offer a value call, okay? So let's just break this down when it comes to outbound outreach. I'm probably going to keep saying like outbound, because I always say outbound, but I know everyone uses the words like outreach and cold outreach, but I always just call it cold outbound. So if I say outbound, I just mean outreach, right? So again, those are the things you need, right? So inefficiencies, how to create context, familiarity, how to bring out inefficiencies in conversation, how to educate to create curiosity and create confidence, and offering a value call. So what are inefficiencies? Well, inefficiencies can be pretty much the pains that your market's dealing with, right? So it can be like outdated content strategies that they're using. So if they, for example, just copy and paste in like OnlyFans based trends, maybe using Trend Hunter, etc., then that's like an outdated process that market is leveraging to attain its main goal. And therefore they're not actually going to achieve their goal, or it's going to be slower to get there, okay? So you need to understand that. You need to understand the latent conditions of the market, and you need to understand the inefficiencies, right? And these inefficiencies are keeping them from attaining their goal, right? And especially from attaining their goal fast, which is what everyone wants. They want to attain their goal fast. And if you can show them how to do it, you're going to get more clients than you know what to do with. And so another thing, like when you look at inefficiencies, is inefficiencies are like also like knowledge gaps that your market has. So they don't know how to create content. They don't know how to go viral. They don't know how to get subs. They don't know how to chat. They don't know how to make the offer on their OnlyFans page. They don't know how to select the right agency. They don't know what to look for. They don't have the right mental models, all these different things, right? It's knowledge gaps that your market has. And then also inefficiencies can be anything that you know is standing in the way of OnlyFans creators and their desired goal and state. And so before you start any form of outreach, especially on Instagram Messenger, you need to have a list of inefficiencies to look out for in a conversation. Okay, so what I'd recommend doing is go in and like pause in the video right now and actually take an action, right? This is an implementation step. This is new. I've never done this before. But pause the video, right? And go and understand your market, go and really dig into everything I've talked about so far and list out as many inefficiencies and latent conditions of your market, right? Because that's going to equip you massively. I promise you, pause the video, go and do it now, and you will be thankful for it. Then just come back to this video and watch the rest on how to actually execute that, right? So pause the video, get the fuck off, go and do the shit you need to do, go and fight that resistance head on, because I know you're thinking right now, I just want to keep consuming. I just want to keep watching the video. Stop. Pause the fucking video. Get the fuck off my video. Go and do the shit you need to do. I want you to succeed, right? So you should have now done the stuff, right? You should have paused the video. You should have done the stuff. Now we're going to talk about how to execute, right? If you haven't done the stuff, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. I promise you, bro, right? So what is standing in the way of their desired goal or state? Well, it could be can't get in subs. They don't know how to chat. They don't know the right agency to pick. There's a fucking million, right? You've already got a list because you've just done it and you listened. Good for you. Now, we understand that the next thing is creating contacts and familiarity, right? So the number one goal with outreach is to get responses. And so if you do not get your prospects, if you don't get these OnlyFans creators responding to your first message, then how can you expect them to convert on a call? And so you need to make sure that you have the highest response rate in your outreach. And how do you do that? Well, you do that by making sure that the prospect is in the right state of mind. So what that means is the right level of the brain to be able to accept the information that you're trying to communicate to them. The right level of the brain to make sure that the offer you're communicating to them, the short form, the long form message in your offer, they're in the right level of the brain to actually take that in and understand. And so there's different parts of the brain, right? We've got the reptilian side of the brain, which is like the instinctual part of the brain, which has the sole purpose to just keep you away from danger. Then you have the limbic part of the brain, which is the emotional and feeling part, which is the driver of pretty much many of our behaviors. And then you have the neocortex, which is the rational thinking, logic side of the brain. And so when you are using this outreach strategy, you need your prospect to use their neocortex, which is the rational thinking logic. And it is harder to get women to tap into their neocortex, right? And that's not some fucking sexist thing. Don't take me down like I'm not the next Andrew Tate. That's just actual fucking psychology, right? Women are more emotional and feeling. That's not saying men are not. That's just what it is, right? So that being said, then you need to get them into their neocortex, which is more difficult than it is to get a guy in his neocortex. And so you need to get them in that part of their brain to actually converse with you, because if they're stuck in their reptilian brain or their limbic brain, you're not going to be able to get through to them, right? And so to do that, you need to know how to create contacts and familiarity. And so to create that social contacts and familiarity, the first message should mention something that's familiar to the prospect. And so this can be taken from their profile or the understanding that you have about their niche, about their journey as an OnlyFans creator and the problems and the pains that they face. And so that's what you need to figure out how to do, right? If you got that in your first message, you'll get a big, high response rate. Now, the second thing is bringing out those inefficiencies, okay? So actually, let me loop back. Before we talk about bringing out inefficiencies, if we go back to creating contacts and familiarity, another key part about that I left out is that you need to make sure that your profile's good. If you have a shit profile and you have 3 pictures on it, it's going to be terrible. Or if it looks obviously fake, or if it looks like every other agency page, you're not going to get results. Obviously, right? So it doesn't matter if you're using a personal brand page. It doesn't matter if you're using an agency page. It doesn't matter if you're using a theme page, a meme page. You just need to stand out, right? You just need to stand out. It doesn't even matter if you've got a personal brand that's nothing to do with OnlyFans. As long as you've got a personal brand that's good, that has content, that shows you're a real person, you'll get results with outreach, right? Don't deep it. You don't even have to make OnlyFans-based content. You don't have to have any of that shit. You just have to have a good page, right? High quality photos, and that's all that matters. And it needs to stand out out from the rest. If you just go and get an agency page that looks like the rest, you're not going to get results, okay? So that is that. Page is the most important thing. Also, obviously, if you can have engagement on your profiles, that's great too, because that just creates social proof and makes the prospect feel like they can actually trust you, since other people trust you. And obviously, have some nice video content, have some nice pictures for the prospect to consume. And obviously, the ideal scene is to make some level of like niche content towards OnlyFans creators, because then you'll just get better results probably, but it depends. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to, is what I'm saying. You can get results either way. So that is that, right? Profile optimization is a very important part of creating social context and familiarity. You're not just going to be able to create social context and familiarity from your message. That's where it's going to start, right? But also engaging with your content, leaving comments if you're not receiving any responses. That's other ways to create social context and familiarity, right? So there's 3 ways there. Your first message containing something familiar to the prospect, engaging with their content, leaving comments if you're not getting many responses, and then having a good profile that's optimized to create that social context, right? So once you've got that dialed in, you're good to go. That's when you can then start to use that list of inefficiencies that you've built out, because you should have paused the video, and now you can bring out those inefficiencies in the conversation, right? So they've replied to you, and now you're going to go over those inefficiencies. And so I would always recommend you ask a minimum of 3 questions to get a clear picture of what the OnlyFans creator you're speaking to is actually struggling with, in order for them to have enough information to use against you, like in order for you to have enough information to use against the OnlyFans creator when it comes to pitching the value call, okay? So ask a minimum of 3 questions, get a clear picture where they're at, get a clear picture of if you can actually help them bridge that gap from the current situation to their desired situation, and then use that as leverage against them when it comes to actually getting them on a call, right? And pitching them the value call, right? So that's what we've got. Now, the next step of getting results with cold outreach is educating the prospect and creating authority and curiosity, okay? You do this. There's a couple of things you can do. Before you try and educate or even pitch a call, you need to find a minimum of 2 painful inefficiencies, okay? And if you don't, then the prospect's not going to see the need to jump on a call, because the value of the call needs to compensate for the friction and energy that they need to put into booking the call, waiting for the call, showing up for the call, and doing their makeup before the call, and doing all these things, right? And so I'll give you like a mental model, I guess, to adopt, a framework to follow for the educational message, right? So what that framework is like, how do you solve it, and why is it worth solving that particular way, right? So how do you solve it, and why is it worth solving in that particular way? Who have you helped solve it, and what outcome did they get? And then questioning the prospect if they've ever heard of this process or thought of it themselves. So off the top of my head, this is probably not going to be the most amazing example, but you would want to say something along the lines of like, we normally leverage proven content verticals to gain a minimum of 30 million views per month for your Instagram, while you only work 3 days a week. Have you ever thought about leveraging proven verticals before? So that's an example of questioning the prospect to see if they've ever heard of this mechanism or process or thought of doing it themselves, right? And so again, recap. Educate the prospect, create authority and curiosity. How do you solve it, and why is it worth solving that way? Who have you helped solve it, and what outcome did they receive? And then questioning the prospect if they've ever heard of this process or thought of using it themselves. And then I gave the example about the proven verticals on that, okay? Then, finally, okay, the final step to successful cold outreach is going to be offering the actual value call. So now you've done all the groundwork, okay? You have got an optimized profile, you've got the inefficiencies, you understand the psychology of the market, you've created context and familiarity, you've brought out inefficiencies in the conversation, you've educated the OnlyFans creator, you've created authority and curiosity, and now you are gonna offer the value call. Now, depending on the prospect's reply, you should establish if the point you just shared made them curious enough to make sense of actually jumping on a call with you to learn more. And so if they're not too interested, just simply jump to another inefficiency. So you can like educate them again to try and find the one thing, the one inefficiency, the one pain that actually makes them curious. And most of the time it's going to come from the biggest obstacle that your target market, your niche faces, okay? And so once they seem interested and engaged, simply make the following offer. And again, tweak, change, and iterate on this. If you copy the exact words I'm about to say, I fucking promise you, you will not get results, because everyone who's lazy is going to make like a tiny little change to the word. It needs to be completely fucking different, right? But following the same framework. If you copy this, I promise you, you'll not get results. Iterate on it if you want success. I'm not just saying it, okay? I've seen it. I've worked with hundreds of agencies, and I say it in my programs. I say it, and I'm like, please do not copy, iterate, and everyone fucking copies, and then they wonder why they don't get results. But the people that iterate and listen, holy shit, the results they get are insane, okay? So, the thing you would say, right, is once they seem interested and engaged, you simply say something like, are you free sometime this week for a 15 minutes chat? I can walk you through how we go about implementing the process you talked about, right? Implementing the mechanism. And you say what that is, right? And then I think it could help you solve wherever that current inefficiency and issue is, wherever it is for them. And then let me know if you are, and I can share with you a booking link, right? I'll give you an example, right, of what that would look like for a specific inefficiency, okay? You could be like, are you free sometime this week for a 15-minute chat? I can walk you through about how we go about implementing our 24/7 around the clock chatting team. I think it could help you solve the problem that you're having with making more money in subs than messages. Let me know if you are, and I can share with you a booking link. Now, do not send the booking link until they say yes. You need their permission. Once they say yes, you just be like, okay, cool, use my booking link. Let me know if you can't find a time that works. That's key, right? That's pretty much all there is. But change what I just said. Do not copy that. Iterate on it. Don't take anything I've just said word for word, and don't just change one or two words and be lazy. Change the entire thing. Just use that sort of framing and process, okay? Then the next thing is the follow-up sequence, right? You need a follow-up process, right? So that's pretty much it. That's all there is. That's the main flow. But now you need the follow-ups, right? Because the majority of all your deals, all your best clients are going to come between the 8th and 12th follow-up. So if you're not doing 8 and 12 follow-ups, you are leaving so much money on the table, right? For my coaching business and for my agency, everything, the majority of all the money comes from the 8th to 12th follow-up, okay? Follow-up's the key. You might seem like you're going to be an annoying pest, and you might piss people off, but it doesn't matter, because at that point, it's either like, you know, they're going to join or not. And so following up with them is for their benefit. Pester them, do what you need to do, right? And so you need to build a follow-up sequence, right? 12 message follow-up sequence, and you need a follow-up sequence for each thing. You need a follow-up sequence if they don't reply to the first message. You then need a follow-up sequence once they've gone through a certain, once you've sent the booking link. You then need a follow-up sequence for each individual stage of this flow I've talked about, right? So you need to design the follow-up system, right? So the follow-up system briefly would be like, firstly, follow up 30 minutes after you've sent the link if they haven't booked a call. And then also follow up 24 hours later. And you're just going to be following up with simple messages. Like 30 minutes after, you'd be like, were you able to find a time that works for you? 24 hours after, you'd be like, if you can't find a time that works for you, I can help you. 48 hours after, you could send some like funny gift of you like waiting or wherever, right? And then you just build the rest of the follow-up sequences based on that, right? You can do it every 48 hours. You could do it then 3 days. You could, whatever you want to do, build an 8 to 12 follow-up sequence, swipe up to their stories, do whatever you need to do to get those follow-ups in, okay? Now, make sure that you're tracking everything. So build a Google sheet, right? And do your lead sourcing in the morning. So in the morning, you're going to spend 2-3 hours lead sourcing, finding all the OnlyFans leads, and that's all. You're not going to be reaching out to them, just lead sourcing, right? So first part of your day, lead sourcing. So lead source all those leads, go and put do it on your laptop, right? Have a Google Sheets up and have an Instagram up. Go and lead source, right? You can use OnlyFinder, wherever you want to do. Lead source, copy the link to their profile, put it in your tracker. Copy link to their profile, put it in the tracker. Get 100 leads, because you need to be doing a minimum of 100 outreaches a day, right? Put them in your lead tracker, and then at the end of the day, go and hit all those people up. So go through your tracker that you've built out, and you start to build like a CRM of leads up, and then have sections in that tracker to say you followed up with them once, you followed up with them twice, you followed up with them 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. They've booked a call, they've closed, wherever, right? Build a Google Sheet or an Airtable, wherever you want to do, to track outreach. You need to track your metrics to know what is working, and you need to look at metrics as well. What's my reply rate? What's my open rate? What's my booking call rate? What's my appointment booking rate? What's my sales conversion rate, right? You need to look at all these metrics and track them, because then once you've done 3,000 outreaches, you've now got fuck tons of data and you're not making emotional decisions. And so even if you didn't get results for 3,000 outreaches, you've got data, which is the most valuable thing. And now you can make informed, logical, data-driven decisions versus making emotional decisions of like, I don't know why I'm getting results. I'm doing outreach and I'm like, show me your data. Oh, I haven't got any data. Well, how the fuck do you know what you're doing wrong, right? Like, you need to track, okay? And so like, if you track this stuff, then you're going to be able to know, for example, okay, my appointment booking rate's in KPI, my sales to conversion rate's in KPI, but my reply rate is way out. Like, my reply rate's terrible. Like, I'm getting really little reply rates. Or my media seen, like my first message seen rate is terrible. Then you know, okay, I just need to fix that one thing. The constraint, the bottleneck of the business is my reply rate. And so how could I improve that? Okay, cool. Let me change this, do that. Or maybe it's your first message. You find out that's the constraint. But everyone that does reply, you book calls, all right? Like, let's just say you have a 10% ABR, appointment booking rate. But it takes you like 3,000 messages to even get like one person to see you, which is not going to happen. That's super unrealistic. But let's just say that happens. You know that it's your initial message, right? Or you know it's your profile, or you know there's something going wrong and there's a bottleneck there that you could look at. You look at it on the macro level, then you look at it on the micro level, and you fix that bottleneck, change one variable at a time, and then do another 3,000 outreaches, see if it improves. And then you might be in KPI, now you might be booking appointments, great, keep the system as is. Now you just need to find, how do I put more volume through the system? So once everything's in KPI, once you've tracked your metrics, once you've got a working outreach system, once you're booking 30, 60, 250 appointments a month through your outreach system, now you just have to think, how do I do more volume? So if you're doing 100 outreaches a day and everything's working, all you need to be thinking once you've got a working system is like, right, how do I increase my inputs to get more of an output, right? And so that's all the system is. Input to process to output to feedback in an environment. And so how do I 5x my input? So how do I go from 100 outreaches to 500 outreaches? Because that is going to result in, let's just say at 100 outreaches a day for 3 months, for a month. So 100 outreaches a day for a month, you are getting 3,000 outreaches a month. And let's just say that's booking you 30 calls a month, right? That's amazing. Now you just need to figure out, how do I 5x that? So instead of doing 100, now I do 500. Now you 5x your results, right? You go from 30 to 150, 180. I'm terrible at maths. I failed maths, honestly. So yeah, you go from like 30 to 150, right? Just by 5xing the inputs, because you've got a working, proven system. So I just had a brain fart there with math. That was funny as fuck. I can't believe I couldn't do 30 times 5. That's crazy. It is midnight. Cut me some slack. I've just been to basketball and just cut me some slack. So that's pretty much it, right? Then the last thing you can do is, when the call's booked, you can send them like an intro video to your mechanism solution to nurture them, okay? So it can be a story video, it can be a before and after state of your customers, like a testimonial, it could be a case study video, but you send them something before the call so they can get nurtured, right? That's key. That's all you need to really know for cold outreach, making it successful. That was me just brain dumping as much information as I can. Hopefully that helps. Let's talk about the next thing. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is very fucking important. And this is probably going to be the most valuable part of this video. I want to talk about something called asymmetries, right? Which all that means is just leveraging high impact opportunities. And so you want to learn to focus on the asymmetries of your OnlyFans agency. Now, I've coached hundreds of agencies at this point, thousands if you look at my free school community, right? And I have helped people achieve amazing results, right? So the biggest thing that I see with agency owners that get results fast and don't get any results or get results slow is understanding how to leverage high impact opportunities and understanding asymmetries. Now, they might not understand asymmetries at like a fundamental level. They may have just done it on accident, or they understand it subconsciously, but they don't actually know what I'm about to talk about, right? So you might be an agency watching this that's doing everything I'm saying, but you just didn't realize what the concept was or what the mental model is, right? Now, when I talk about asymmetries, it's like knowing where to concentrate your time and energy is all about understanding asymmetries, right? And asymmetries are just certain things in your agency that you can work on, whereby the output, aka the progress towards your goal, is extremely disproportionate from the input, right? The time and energy required. So when I talk about understanding asymmetries, all it really means is little input, big output. That's what asymmetry is, right? Asymmetry is little time and energy and massive progress towards your goals, right? So little input, big output. Then you've got something called anti-asymmetry, which is big input, little output, right? So a lot of time and energy to make very little progress towards your goal. And that's like pretty much understanding like leverage. And so I see a lot of agency owners, especially beginner agency owners, getting caught up by, they sign their first model and they get super emotionally attached to making that model work, to like blowing that model up, making her famous, making her tons of money, when she might just kind of be like a lower quality model. She might not actually have the appetite to want to make $100,000 a month. And you are like, you're swimming upstream from the start, but for whatever reason, your ego, you maybe not understanding asymmetries and leverage, is holding you back, and you feel like you need to make it work. Or maybe you've signed multiple creators, but they're all low quality creators, and you know in your heart of hearts they're low quality creators, and you're fighting an uphill battle, and they're lazy, and they don't listen, they don't have big aspirations, they don't really take it serious, but you just don't know how to get clients, and so you try and make it work with them rather than having sort of like abundance and going to find the high quality creators. And that's fine. I understand you, bro. I was there as well, right? But you need to understand that, yeah, you could force them to grow, right? But you're probably going to start looking into black hat methods when they're not doing stuff. And eventually over the long run, you're probably going to get wrecked, and you're probably going to go back to being unemployed and broke. And so you need to understand this concept, because this concept has the literal ability to change your agency at the click of a finger, okay? Like I've seen people go from 0 to 50K a month in 2 months, 1 month, just understanding this concept of leverage and asymmetry. So if you can, like, by identifying and focusing on asymmetries, you leverage your efforts for maximum impact, right? And so there's this thing that I like to tell a lot of people is the first principle of the human condition, right? And what that is like all we have in life, all you have in life is energy and time, right? Life just equals energy and time. And we're all the same in that regard. And so we all have the same 24 hours in a day. We all have the same time, and we all have a similar amount of energy, which is like our physical and mental capacities every single day. But however, I'm sure you've noticed that people's results are anything but the same. And I was asking my question, like, why is that? And it's because of focus, right? Which is a force multiplier on the effects of spending time and energy. And so we all have a very finite amount of time and energy in our lifetime. And so like I like to imagine it, and you can imagine it. Imagine you just have a bank that is filled with a finite amount of two currencies when you're born. Those two currencies being energy and time. You can't generate or make any more. You can't just go and print money like a bank can. Every day, whether you like it or not, you spend a small percentage of these finite currencies, and you spend a little bit every single day until you die. And so whether you succeed or fail in life is simply down to how well you spend your energy and time. And then if you imagine that focus is like a bargaining power or a coupon that you can use to get way more for what you spend, that's what it is. And so life is literally just energy plus time multiplied by focus. And so successful people know how to concentrate their energy and time, and when they concentrate it into one thing for a long time, they win. And it's as simple as that. It's why I do so well with organic content, because it's all I've done for the last 4 years in my agency. And so I'm really good at it because I've never distracted myself anywhere else, right? And so that's the biggest thing, right? You need to understand focus. You need to understand how to leverage your time. And this is where asymmetries and stuff comes into it. So when it comes to asymmetries in your OnlyFans management agency, right, we're looking at a few examples, right? So for example, if you craft an extremely high converting outreach message, and let's just say you spend a few hours on it, that's leverage, right? Because you've spent maybe a few hours developing, testing a couple compelling messages to creators. And if you do that, well, the output is a massive increase in positive replies and new creators signing up. And so the impact is that's going to fill your agency with super qualified leads and lead to more revenue, right? So that's something that's super leveraged. Something like refining your onboarding process and making it the most streamlined, automated, easy, impressive onboarding process ever, setting those expectations that's value driven, that's not going to take long. But the impact that has, the output is going to be higher retention rate, less churn, higher creator satisfaction. You're going to get all these positive outputs, and the impact is you're going to start to build a strong reputation. You're going to reduce your churn. You're going to get stable, reliable, predictable, recurring income, right? And so there's tons of asymmetries within an OnlyFans agency that you can just pull little levers to have the biggest output. But a lot of people I see in this space that are not getting results, they are literally their entire agency, their entire life, the inputs they do on a daily basis is all just anti-asymmetrical, okay? And that's where significant effort just yields minimal results. Like I spoke to someone the other day, and Instagram was like working for them, and it was like starting to pick up traction. It was doing well, but they were spending, and they're like a one-man band, and they were spending 6 hours a day on Twitter, right? Trying to get Twitter to work as well. Twitter wasn't even bringing in any subs, right? That's anti-asymmetric. And so I told him, fuck Twitter, get rid of that shit right now. I've just looked at the tracking link. There's nothing coming in. Why are you spending that much time on Twitter when you've got something right here that's working and you just need to double down on this, right? And so that's what he did. And that is leverage. And now he's going to go and make way more money because of that, right? And so a lot of people, and it also comes down to creators, right? There's certain creators that are going to plateau at certain levels based on looks, personality, the appetite for them to want to do well, the motivation, their drives, their goals, etc. Every single creator, I look at them as different individual businesses, and I'm thinking, do I want to invest in this business, right? And so when I'm looking to work with a creator to join my A team, I'm like, do I want to invest in this business? Do I want to invest time and energy into this working? But not only do I want to invest my time and energy and spend my time and energy, but is it going to be leverage in terms of getting your results? So I'll give an example, and I'm probably going to get like a lot of hate for this, but this is just like the reality. And this is variables to this, but this is reality. I'm probably going to get cancelled for this. But if you've got like a 60-year-old OnlyFans creator that is like a 4 out of 10, she's past her prime, and and she has no social media following, and she's willing to do like very basic content. She's also not good at creating content, and so on and so forth. You working with her is going to be very anti-asymmetrical. I personally wouldn't want to invest in that business. I wouldn't want to invest my time and energy in that. I could use let's just say I use the same strategy on that creator I just talked about, and then I also go and get a 20-year-old girl next door, everyone's dream girl, who's amazing at creating content, who's an 8 out of 10, and I work with her and I apply the same strategies to both, and they do the exact same inputs every single day for 6 weeks. Well, the 60-year-old is not going to get the same results as the 20-year-old, right? The 20-year-old is going to have a higher conversion rate. She's going to have a higher auto renew. She's going to make more money in messages. Her ratios are going to be better. Her content's going to perform better. She's going to blow up faster. She's going to gain more followers because her business, aka she's leveraged to work with. The other girl is not leveraged. And although you could force the other girl to work, for it to work, like you could force growth and you could force her to X amount per month, it's not leverage and it's not worth it. And I see a lot of people spending their time and energy on creators that are never going to make it work, when they'd be better off resetting and spending 4 weeks, 8 weeks, just finding high quality creators that are leveraged that they can just take to the next, right? So that's what I wanted to say. So again, you need to understand the difference between asymmetries and anti-asymmetries, right? So asymmetry is leverage. Asymmetric leverage, little in, lots out. And so if you can isolate and conquer asymmetries, you will rule your fucking market, just like I've done. Now, a practical tool that I actually want to give you access to that's going to be the most valuable thing that you can possibly do as a business owner is what I call the 100 units of time. I do one of these like every single month, and it's the most valuable thing that I do. So do not overlook this. This is probably the most valuable asset you've ever been given in a YouTube video if you understand this and leverage this. Now, this is going to help you identify waste, right? This is all it's really going to do. It's going to help you identify waste so you can, and it's going to help you understand your day-to-day inputs and the output they're getting so you can get rid of waste and create more value and create leverage, right? So All I need you to do is live your normal week, right? So don't alter your routine for the sake of this exercise. Then I need you to set regular alarms. So every 30 minutes during your waking hours, so whenever you wake up, you can see on the sheet here, we've got the wake up, you set this to whenever you wake up and go to bed, right? Every 30 minutes during your wake up hours, you set an alarm. Then all you're gonna do is record your activities, right? And so what that means is when the alarm goes off every 30 minutes, and it's gonna be annoying, but just stick to it for a week, and I do this all the time because it's really important at the level I'm at to do stuff like this. And I got this from Sam Evans, it's like the best thing ever, right? So credit to Sam Evans for this. But when the alarm goes off, note what you're doing at that moment, right? So let's just say it's 10 a.m. and the alarm goes off. You're just gonna note down what you did, right? So that could be, I was on Instagram, right? Boom. Then all you're gonna do is categorize your activities, right? So you can group similar tasks, right? So like administrative work, client communication, personal time, etc. And I've given you examples here. So let's just say you was on Instagram and you was doom scrolling, like you wasn't using it properly. Now, when you take this sheet, you can come in here and you can edit these yourself. You can change them, do whatever you need to do, right? Wherever you want to add in here, because these all might not be relevant. Delete, add, change, wherever, right? Doesn't matter. Then all you're going to do is label each time slot. So waste or value, right? So value is activities that contribute directly to your goals, and waste are activities that do not contribute meaningfully. Then at the end of the week, you are going to analyze the data, right? So you're going to calculate the total time spent on value versus waste, and then you're going to identify patterns and areas for improvement. So if you do this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you do it for an entire week, it's going to, you're going to be bombarded with alarms, but it'll be worth it. You'll then understand these are all the inputs I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, which is creating this output, and I'm not happy with my current situation. I can see, oh my God, I'm wasting this much time on this much shit. I need to sort my life out. No wonder I'm not making 10K a month, right? No wonder I'm not making 100K a month. No wonder I'm not making $1 million a month, right? This is how you figure that out, right? So that, I'm gonna leave this resource in the description for you. And yeah, let's talk about the next thing. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the actual like OnlyFans side of the business. But I'm going to keep this super simple because simplicity scales and complex fails. And the reason why I'm going to keep it simple is because I get asked questions all the time of like, what's the best OnlyFans page strategy? What's the best chatting strategy? Should I have a free page? Should I make this model a paid page? Should I make this model a no PPV page? Because they've seen some like other OFM influencers saying free pages are the best. Paid pages are the best, no PPV is the way, blah, blah, blah. And they just take that blanket statement and change their entire business. I see it happen all the time, right? I literally see like some OnlyFans like agency owner guru be like, free pages are the way. If you're not running free pages in 2024, what are you doing? And then like some beginner who's making like 20 grand a month or 50 grand a month is like, fuck, I'm gonna go change all my models pages to free, when there's legitimately no reason to, right? Because that's working for you. Point I wanna make is every single thing works. Free pages, paid pages, no PPV. That's what it is. Now, the way that I like to think about it is, firstly, do not just change your entire fucking business based on something that one person says, including me. Everything should be a data-driven decision, right? You should never make emotional-driven decisions, because that's how you fuck up and destroy shit, right? And so like, I see people all the time, they onboard a creator, she has a free page, it's doing well, she's making all this money, but they're like, oh, we only run paid pages, so we're gonna change your page to paid. And they just fucking kill the entire page because they're retarded, because they don't understand business and systems thinking and data-driven thinking and so on. And so they destroy it. Or vice versa. Some girl comes in as a paid page, and let's just say like she has nude on the feed and stuff like that. And because they've heard people say like, oh, we don't do nude on the feed, it's really bad. Let's just say this is working for her. They'll just go and change it. They'll go and change what's working without even looking at the data. Or like, let's just say she has a welcome message that has like an 80% open rate and it's printed money. But because it's not the welcome message that they use for their creators, they just go and change it. It's fucking stupid, right? Or if there's a no PPV page and they're like, oh, nah, no PPV pages are stupid, we're gonna start chatting on the page, and they just destroy the account. There's so many things by making emotional decisions where you will just fuck up time and time again. You could get lucky and you might be finding it can be, you're basing your business and decisions on luck pretty much, right? So whenever like an agency owner or a guru or someone says like, this is the best thing, like for example, free pages are the best in 2024. Like free pages are the best. You should only run free pages, blah, blah, blah. I instantly know that that person's fucking retarded. I don't care how much money he's making. It's so easy to make money in this business, which is why I'm making like nearly 2 million a month, because it's so fucking simple. And I've actually got some level of brain compared to a lot of these other guys that are making like 200, 300 grand a month. Like 300 grand a month in this industry is fuck all. Like you can be a retard. I know idiots making that much money, right? And when I see like these gurus say like, you know, free pages are the best, like you should run a free page. It's stupid because it's not binary, right? And it instantly tells me they don't understand non-binary versus binary thinking. They don't understand data-driven versus emotional thinking, which is like the most fundamental thing you need to know as a business owner. And so instantly I'm like, oh my God, this guy's a retard. I can't believe it. There's going to be a bunch of people that now listen to this guy and go and destroy their businesses, right? So point being is simplicity scales. So if you want to find a strategy for a creator on OnlyFans, firstly, when you onboard the creator, see what is working for her. Look at her data. Don't change anything for 30 days, right? And see like what is going on. Analyze the data. Once you get the data back, then change one variable at a time, right? And now again, even what I'm saying right now is non-binary, right? Don't just go and like take this, but this is sort of the mental model, right? And so like, yeah, you might sign a creator and sometimes it is smart to change one or two things right away if it is like clearly like not yielding results, right? That's fine. But what I'm saying is a lot of people I see will sign like a creator making 20 grand a month and they'll change tons of different things and then their account will die and they'll say it's like a traffic issue or something like that. But they don't even know what caused the issue. It's probably the fact you changed the welcome message of the offer, you deleted stuff on the feed, you changed your messaging structure, you changed like all these different things you changed, like that's probably what caused it, but you're not going to know because you changed so many variables at once. So I'm a big believer in changing one thing at a time and don't fix what's not broken, right? If an OnlyFans creator is getting tons of subs and she's doing really well with another agency or by herself, I'm not going to change her offer. I'm not going to fuck with anything because I know that could fuck it up. The rule of thumb is if something's in KPI, if something's doing well, if something's yielding results, do not fuck with it. Right? Because if you fuck with it, it could work and it could be better and you might end up making more money. It's just not worth it because 90% of the time you're actually going to fuck it, right? And especially if you change multiple things at one time, you're going to fuck it up 90% of the time, unless you're lucky, right? So I will then analyze data. I'll wait for 30 days to elapse, for example. I will look at, renews are quite bad in comparison to all the other creators we work with. Let's see what we can do to increase her renew rate. And I'll just change that. I'll test over 30 days. Subs, her conversion rate is quite bad. Like we fixed her renew rate, her conversion rate's not amazing. It's like 2% and most of our creators are 5%. Okay, cool. Let's tweak the offer. Test it. Oh, nice. We doubled the conversion rate. Great. But point being, if you sign a creator where everything for that creator is already working, she's already got a proof of concept, she's already making 20 grand a month, she's already, got tons of subs coming in, this and that. You don't need to fuck with anything. You just need to figure out how to put more volume through it. How do you put more volume through the system? If she's already got a proof of concept, she's already making money, she's already growing month over month, she's not plateaued, she's not stuck, she's not in the shitter. If it's working, do not change it, just put more volume through the system, right? And the only variable you really need to change is like maybe a content plan or like the type of content she's creating and so on and so forth, right? That's how I like to think of it. Now, when it comes to coming up with strategies and ideas for stuff like offers, welcome messages, chatting strategies, paid versus free versus no PPV. The best thing to do is not to copy anyone, but to create your own, because that's how you stand out. If you have an agency and all your creators are doing the same thing, and they got the same sort of welcome message structure and it's a lot of similarities, okay, fair enough if you want to do that, but I don't like to personally do that. Every single creator for me is all completely unique, because that's what they are. I treat them all as individual businesses. I don't want any crossover. I don't want it to be the same if you want to get the best results. Now, something like our C team, for example, because we have this ABC system. If you want to learn more about the ABC system, I've got like a free video explaining it on my YouTube somewhere. Go and find it on my YouTube. I'm not even going to say I'm going to pop it up because I can't be asked. Go and find it. It's on my YouTube. It's called like ABC's Creator System or whatever. I'll explain it. My C team, super standardized on the other end, right? Everything's the same changes made, etc. because it doesn't matter. But our A team, we're not changing it because these are our A players. These are our best creators making 30 plus K a month when they sign. We're not changing anything with that, right? We're not fucking with shit, right? We're changing one variable at a time, so on and so forth. My point is when we are coming up with strategies for those creators, We will go and reverse engineer what's working. We'll reverse engineer what's working from our most successful creators and other successful creators that we look at. So, for example, if I'm crafting a welcome message, and this is for everything, I'm just going to use the welcome message as an example, right? You can utilize this for offer, for page strategy, for paid versus free, for mass message strategy, for whatever. I'll go and subscribe to 20, 30 different OnlyFans creators, right? Someone's going to clip this and I'm going to look like a simp. But I subscribe to 20 to 30 OnlyFans creators, and let's just say I want to do the welcome message now. I'll go and subscribe to 20, 30 OnlyFans creators that I like, that are doing well, that are clearly performing, and I'll look at their welcome message. And I'll look through them and I'll filter it down to maybe like the 5 best that I like. Then I'll take parts from each of their welcome message. So I might take this girl's intro because I really liked it, but I might just tweak it slightly. Then I'll take this girl's middle part. I'll take this girl's like text under the welcome message. I'll take this girl's pricing, and I'll tweak them and change them all like slightly to make it tailored to my creator. And now I've got a brand new welcome message no one else has, and it's going to convert, and it works every time. And then the same for like, you know, mass message strategies. I sometimes just go and like subscribe to tons of girls that I know are doing well, and I'll just monitor like the type of messages they send to me, and I'll look at it. Okay, what messages? I don't personally do this anymore. I'm at a big scale to do this, but this is what I would do, and this is what I'd recommend you do. But look at their messages, okay? What are they sending me? Are they sending on average mass message nudges every hour? Okay, maybe we could implement it. Maybe we could try it. I just reverse engineer success. Success leaves clues. Reverse engineer success. For all your strategies, that's all you need to do is look at what's working, look at multiple people as what's working, and take the best parts that you like from each one, Frankenstein them, combine them. Now you've got your own. Voila. Pretty fucking simple. That's the entire secret. That's the entire strategy. There's no one strategy. If you follow the shiny object, if you follow the one strategy that's the best paid strategy in the world, the best free strategy in the world, the best welcome message, the best mass message strategy, the best chatting strategy, guess what? 10,000 other agencies are also doing the same thing. It's now not the best thing anymore, right? Create your own. There's something called contrarian attraction, which is doing the opposite of everyone else to stand out. That's how you need to run your business, right? And you can even go and find things that worked in the past. What was working 5 years ago on OnlyFans? Or what content was popping off 5 years ago? Let's take that, bring it into today because people have forgotten about it, and it will work again. Contrarian attraction, right? Look it up. That's what you need to base your business off. So that's my rant over for the OnlyFans side of things. There's nothing else I really need to say on OnlyFans. That's pretty much it. That's simple. Simplicity skills. That's all you need to do. Get all these strategies from the best creators. Simple as that. Do not copy. Take, iterate, change, and that's why you will succeed. If you just go and copy, you are going to fail. Simple as voila. I'm a fucking genius. You're welcome. So I've just spent the last hour brain dumping. If you want to see another brain dump video like this, where I just brain dump on different topics to do with OnlyFans management, whether it's scaling, content, wherever, then drop a like, subscribe, comment below maybe what you want to see me brain dump on next. If everyone says something like, you know, I want to see you brain dump on like organic content systems, then I'll do that. But that's going to be enough today. I've been yapping for like the last hour. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video and found value in it. Also, just fucking died. Holy shit. What the fuck, dog? Holy shit. I feel like I fucking sound like I've smoked a pack of fucking 60. Anyway, join the free Skool community. First link in the description. There will be people in there on the same journey as you, and some even further ahead, leaving breadcrumbs so you can succeed. And if you want to work with me directly, partner with me. If you're at a certain threshold, you might not be qualified, but if you do want to get a walkthrough of how I scale my agency to 1.8 mil a month, click like the second link in the description. Of course, it's a sales funnel. We are going to try and sell you if you are a good fit to work with us, and it'll probably be the best decision you've ever made. But otherwise, if not, no worries, join the free Skool, and I will see you at the top.